Hi, I'm Jay Little, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my game, The Turing Test. Turing Test is a large format social game for 9 to 15 players that will appeal to people who enjoy games like Werewolf or Murder Mystery Parties, where they interact in a social setting and assume interesting roles. The premise of the game is that the players are taking part of some make-believe social gathering like a dinner party. One player is the host as the moderator and helps direct the action. The other players are guests, but in the Turing Test, most of the guests are human, represented by the red characters, but some of them are actually artificial intelligence, represented by the blue characters, who are trying to pass as human during the game. Each guest begins the game with a unique background and a pair of traits to help them establish their character. A guest might be a diplomat or a reporter, for example, who is obsessed with, time and being extremely patriotic. Each trait describes a certain behavior or mindset for the player to use. They're color-coded blue or red to indicate whether the trait is associated with artificial intelligence, like time-sensitive, or human, like patriotic. Later in the game, the guests receive their third and final trait card. If at any time 2 or more traits are human, that guest is a human. But if 2 or more traits are artificial intelligence, that guest is an AI posing as human. Some guests will know right away, while others may not discover their true role until they receive their third trait later in the game. Under the watchful eye of the moderator, the guests ask each other questions and observe the other guest's behavior. The questions are open-ended to encourage conversation and allow guests enough time to use their background and traits. When a guest is asked a question from one of the cards, they have to follow protocol, which means they have to do their best to try to incorporate the background and trait cards when they answer. For example, if the guest shown here was asked a question about winning the lottery, they would try to find a way to fold in being a reporter, a hypochondriac, being patriotic, and time-sensitive. As the game progresses, some players might start to become suspicious of the other guests. They may assign a hunch token indicating, "I've got my eye on you," or at the end of the game, secretly assign a suspicion token worth 0, 1, or 3 points. Once all the tokens have been assigned, they are then revealed and the player with the most suspicion shows their trait cards. If 2 of the first 3 most suspicious guests are AI, the humans win. Otherwise, the AI have slipped through their fingers and have passed the Turing test. The Turing test features 40 unique backgrounds and 60 different traits, assuring each game is a fresh new experience. The first-time play may take 40 to 45 minutes, but once players are familiar with the game, the Turing test plays in just about 30 minutes. So invite some friends over and see which of your guests are human and who only pretends to be.